Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 226 of the Battleship Brawl's Season 3 tournament. This episode we've got the Kifaru by myself, the Battle Banana, going up against the New Mexico by Faram 4. It is important to note that the New Mexico is on 9 lives, so it will be retiring into the Hall of Champions no matter what the result of this battle is. So let's go ahead and get it underway. Mexico turning, getting itself broadside quite quickly. Firing away at the Kifaru. Kifaru fired first, fired short though. Oh, the Kifaru just took a big hit. I'm pretty sure that was one of the guns getting nailed. Yep, the forward gun there has been taken out. And the Kifaru is sailing straight at its opponent, even though it's not supposed to do that. Because From the Depths AI does what it wants. And it just shot itself. Yeah, the Kifaru was not my best ship. I basically just kind of threw it together because I thought we might need it for, you know, to help with retirement stuff towards the end here. And it turns out we do. And the Kifaru is down to 73% already. It's lost 2 of its guns. Major bit damage to its bow. That the overhang superstructure thing on the top there is getting torn apart by the New Mexico's weaponry. Oh, but it just scored a hit right on the turret face of this turret there, and it did not get through. That's pretty impressive because the Kifaru's guns have some pretty deep punch to them. Oh, and that's another gun done. Another gun gone. Yeah, the Kifaru's lost, but I'm not surprised. I do not expect the Kifaru to become a champion. I would be very, very surprised if it did. Oh, and the bow just fell off. So that's going to make it sink quite a bit deeper down. It may end up getting an 80% in sinking disqualification. But it doesn't look like it doesn't look like it is. It is somehow not considered sinking, I guess because I don't understand that. It is repairing away, but it's not going to be able to repair enough. And it shot itself because fail-safes are not actually fail-safe. And I think that shot disabled the turret. Good job. Good job, Kifaru. Good job. And there we go. The Kifaru is 2 damaged and going to despawn. So that is it for this battle. The Kifaru has been defeated. The New Mexico reaches 100% health before the battle ends. Very strong showing for the New Mexico's final battle, and a very pathetic one for my Kifaru. But yeah, it was just kind of slapped together to make sure we had enough vessels to fight the tournament out. So yeah, go ahead and do a quick cut here, and we'll take a look at the New Mexico before sending her on her way to the Hall of Champions. Alright folks, here we are. This is the BB-40 New Mexico by Faram 4. A very interesting vessel, very powerful one. Made it into the Hall of Champions on endurance. Got a ton of rudders back here. That's how it's able to make those sharp turns. Got these triple barrel turrets, a nice bit of built up superstructure here in the center. Got some anti-aircraft guns, some little lifeboats. It's pretty cool. I definitely like the way this ship looks overall. I'm not I don't really. I can't say I like the paint job. Like the colors are fine, but then you've got these portions where there's just no paint, and it just looks odd to me. It looks off. It doesn't look. It looks like it doesn't belong. But got some anchor chains up here. We actually have anchors. Indeed we do. Kind of little ones for a ship this big. But they are anchors. A little crane back here. I was looking to see if there was another anchor. But nope. Got a smokestack up here. Smoke ventilating out. Oh, and we actually have the engine exhaust coming out through there, which is always cool in my book. I like that. So overall, a pretty good looking ship. But I just, that paint job, it bothers me. I don't know what it is, but that's my personal preference. Let's go ahead and move on to the speed and maneuverability of this vessel, which it is fairly quick at 18 meters per second. That's a fairly... Oh, I just noticed this faux radar dish spinning around up here. That's pretty cool. But 18.4 meters per second. It's a pretty quick little guy. Well, not little guy, but pretty quick ship. Let's see how it turns. With all those rudders, yeah, it turns pretty quick. And it's fairly smooth, too. Yeah, that was a pretty quick 180 there, and done in a rather small chunk of space, considering how fast this thing goes. That's pretty impressive. This thing gets an A for maneuverability. Definitely, definitely. Let's go ahead and get into the armor next. See how this thing is built armor-wise. Got a layer of wood on the outside, then stone, then metal square corners reinforcing. Ah, but that's only for the regular armor. The Citadel armor is much thicker. Like yeah, that's significantly different. That's got metal on the outside, then metal beam, metal beam, metal beam, metal beam, metal beam, stone beam, or stone beam here. And then the turret itself has armor around it. It's only a single layer of metal, that's not going to do a whole lot to stop things, but you never know. That one layer of metal could be the difference between your gun still being operable after the blast and being disabled. But yeah, the Citadel armor, where it's got the guns, is significantly thicker. Whole bunch of stone and metal. It's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of metal, 1, 2, 3 layers of stone, so it's 8 layers deep. So that kind of makes sense. That's a significant amount of protection there. I want to say it's still medium armor, but like on the heavy end of medium armor, like probably just beneath, you know, just barely underneath the lightest of what I would call heavy armor. It's pretty heavy, but the lack of actual heavy armor means that these blocks don't have the greatest armor class, and a decent penetration depth shell will get pretty deep in here before detonating. Like the Kifaru's gun actually wouldn't be able to penetrate this. It would probably penetrate through, I don't know, maybe the first or second layer of stone, and then it would run out of kinetic damage and explode. Maybe it might explode here at the last metal beam, but it would probably detonate somewhere in here, and that would cause a lot of damage from the explosion. But it would protect the gun. A single shell would not be able to get through here, but then when you've got 4 shells coming from the gun, and I've got the... and they'll impact at slightly different times, so one will penetrate in, blow up a bunch of blocks, and then the next one will detonate, and then it will be able to dig deeper, and then the third one will probably hit the turret, and the fourth one will finish it off. Because of how far they can penetrate before they detonate. So it's definitely medium armor, but it's pretty heavy medium armor, if that, you know, if you get what I mean. Alright, let's go ahead and pull one of these guns off here. I think they're all the same. Let's double check. Yeah, pretty sure they're all the same. Yep, so let's go ahead and we'll save this sub-object. Bring in my weapon test platform. And we can take a look. This gun. Oh wow, that's super friggin' tall. I'm gonna have to put it back here so to make sure it can actually aim at the target. That's a really tall turret. It's a really tall, thick neck. I probably grabbed one of the ones that were, you know, mounted higher, which is why that's so tall. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop myself over to this vessel. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I know what's going on. The weapon test platform is too high. It's using too much engine power. Let's go ahead and lower this down before it starts exploding from lack of power. Oh, jeez. Go ahead and while that's going... Okay, we're good now. Alright, so 1850 millimeters, about, well, it's maxing out at about 12,000 kinetic. Oh, got firing restrictions on the guns, it looked like. Anyway, let's go ahead and clear out the barrel here. We're gonna fire it off and get the actual combat numbers. Once it reloads. There we go. Oh, staggered fire too. So 10,000 kinetic with 81 armor pierce and 12,000 explosive damage. These are quite similar to the guns that the Kifaru has. Like, it has pretty much the same numbers. But the Kifaru has 4 barrels, but whatever. Not important. It has 72 explosive connections, 61.5 hardening connections. Takes up quite a bit of space. Let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 by 11. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's actually 11 by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. It is 11 by 10. Okay. It's got some interesting Tetrising going on in there. Quite complex. It's got a lot of connections. Pretty decent for its size. How much does it cost? 27,000. See, and the you can see them here. My Kifaru main guns are 29,000, and they're four barrels with similar numbers. So this is not the most efficient of turrets here, to be perfectly honest. They're also a smaller gauge and fire faster, while still having very similar numbers to what the New Mexico's, I almost called it the Wisconsin, New Mexico's guns have. And I'm only comparing it to the Kifaru just because I've been in that ship lately, you know. But let's go ahead and fire it at the target there. Yep, managed to knock out 2 of the heavy beams. I forgot to turn off my repairs again. Let's do this again. Even though it's not going to be quite the same since the some of the blocks are different. I thought it had... Oh, it probably has minimum pack times as its factor that staggers the shells. So if you don't fire immediately, then they fire in a volley instead of staggered like that. Blew off the outer bit, knocked out 3 heavy armor beams that time. Yeah, they're pretty hefty guns. They're pretty nice guns overall. Not bad at all. But yeah, seeing as how I don't think the Kifaru is going to be become a champion, I'm actually going to the rearward and forward thing is only because the firing restrictions that I have set on them. But this is the Kifaru's gun, and I think it's wider. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it's a 15 by 15 instead of an 11 by 11, but it's shorter, which is probably why this costs. Yeah, if this was a shorter gun, if this didn't have to have such a long neck to get out of the deck, it would its price would probably go down significantly, especially since it's using heavy armor to cover some of these bits. But yeah, still, the fact that this has 4 guns to compare that have a faster fire rate and comparable damage amount of comparable price, like the Kifaru's gun is a bit more efficient. At least materials-wise. Space-wise, it's a lot longer and wider. Significantly longer and wider. So I guess that's the trade-off there, huh? Anyway, I just wanted to make that comparison because otherwise we would never see the Kifaru's gun that I was talking about, because I really don't think it's going to become a champion. But that's enough about the Kifaru. This is about the New Mexico, which is getting sent off to the Hall of Champions. Quite the feat. Not many vessels have pulled it off from this tournament. I mean, we've had, I don't know the exact number, but I would say probably over 100 entries. And as of right now, there's like there's 8 Hall of Famers and probably like a dozen, maybe 20 at the most, somewhere around 20 at the most, champions. So yeah, it's quite the feat to be able to make it in here. And if you think this ship deserves a place in the Hall of Beauty and thus become a Hall of Famer, go ahead and upvote the comment down below that says to induct it. If you don't agree with that, upvote the comment that says do not induct. That's all there is to it, folks. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.